What's up, guys? So you see the title, and so I want to jump straight into it. This is the only way I have been able to make money with e-commerce, with branded dropshipping or private labeling or branded e-commerce, whatever you want to call it. It is all about a brand. And it would only make sense if you've noticed that the biggest trend has now been from dropshipping to now dropshipping with a little bit more effort, like make a custom video, order your own product, and take your own photos, to now like we're so close to, well, why don't you just private label the product? You're so close to doing that it's now starting to become a trend. So I want to get right into it. I'm actually going to show you guys inside my dashboard and kind of give you the backstory of this store, of this branded dropshipping e-commerce store. And then I'm gonna go over into slides and I'm gonna show you the three main things, even things that I messed up on, but the three main things that you can take away and start implementing so you can make your own brand, so you can start kind of catching on this new wave before there's a bunch of other people doing, these little micro brands, and so you could do it the right way. All right, so we're in my dashboard and I wanted to actually start in the month of September, because even though this store started before that, it had a lot of ups and downs, because the inventory issue was a huge headache. I had no idea what I was doing. Even when it scaled really high, I completely messed that up. So this is when we ran out of inventory, and so I just want to kind of start at the bottom. And then in October, this is when we started kind of pushing a little bit. So you can see there's 33,000 in revenue for the month, and you can actually see literally how many refunds, cost of goods, our average order value, which is really, it should be up. And then the net profit. And then let's go to the next month, November. So now we immediately spiked. This is when I pushed really hard. Now, real quick, this is not the right net profit at all. I lost my ad account, so it is not synced to the right Facebook ad account. So cut this in half, and that's the right net profit. But as you can see, there's $260,000 for this month, which is absolutely amazing. A lot of email campaigns and a lot of other things I'll be going over later. But first, I just kind of want to take you over the journey. This was really good. Now, obviously, this is November. Now, in December, this was great, 188,000 for the month, net profit. This, I think, is actually accurate. And now, another thing I want you guys to notice is that my ad spend per order is actually really low. That's because when you're doing a branded e-commerce store, you can actually expect to not just sell to someone once, but sell to someone twice, 3 times, 4 times. So I was actually getting a lot of organic sales. I was even ranking for some things in SEO, getting completely free sales, and getting return customers. I was running email campaigns. So it was really nice. So even though I'm spending to acquire new customers, my ad spend per order was really low because basically all of those forces working together. So you can see that this is pretty good. So 188 for December. Now, okay, let's go into January. Now this is still good. 173,000 net profit, 66,000. Still really good. Now, as we're gonna get closer, I'm gonna kind of show you what the heck is going on, because it's not all great. This is all fantastic. But in the slides, that's why I'm making these slides, because I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. Even though this is great, almost 160,000 for the month, net profit 58,000, huge profit margins. Another thing I want to go over: when you have a branded e-commerce store, when you're selling like branded items, when you're actually a brand, you can have amazing profit margins, like really healthy profit margins, especially if you're using different channels to advertise, like what I was using and still am using. Facebook is great, Google is amazing, Bing is great, even Pinterest. So you have a lot of avenues to work with. Now, let's see, this is February. Now let's start going to the sad part of this. Okay, look how this dipped. Now, it's gonna start getting, like, you'll see the trend. So 24,000 for the month. And by the way, the ad spend is incorrect on this one for the months to come. Now April, you'll see 15,000. And actually we're not even spending that much on ad spend at all. This like maybe 500 bucks. Now what happened here? Well, that's exactly what I'm gonna go over in my slides. But the thing is that if you are a commodity, what's gonna start happening is you are gonna start getting siphoned big league. Like basically what happened to me is I was selling a commodity. Even though I was a brand and everything, I should have gone all in. Like I was still kind of hanging out in the branded drop shipping space. I still kind of actually made a really good deal with my supplier where I was pretty much still drop shipping, but it was completely branded items. So I had literally no risk, but that completely bit me in the butt once again because I was selling a commodity. So I actually got completely demolished by these Chinese resellers, by all these Chinese people literally selling my same exact product, advertising everywhere I was advertising. And it was getting bad. It was getting annoying to the point where I literally just slowed down the marketing and I was like, this is bad. Like they are just copying and siphoning our profits. Our cost per acquisition was going up. So I want to show you the 3 pillars of starting an actual brand and what I'm doing right now as we speak. We already have samples in. So the 3 things is make sure it passes this 2-step commodity test, super important. Use the risk-averse business model. I'm going to be going over this. And then ship from the US. And I'm gonna show you kind of a beginner method and then a little more advanced method, which really isn't all that advanced. It's actually pretty basic. So the first thing is don't sell commodities. If it is easily duplicatable, it's just a matter of time till someone takes from your nice fat pie and completely just eats the whole thing. Actually, Warren Buffett said it really well. He said, buy commodities, sell brands. So really, you want to avoid being replicatable and interchangeable. And so in order to avoid the commodity trap, we need to uncommoditize our business, or we need to do this, like I said, the 2-step commodity test. So if you're starting a branded e-commerce store, a couple things. First, is it China proof or is it shark proof? So you need it China proof. You can't have just basically, if China sees that you're just flooded with orders and you're doing really well, healthy profit margins, you can't just have, I literally have these Chinese websites that are advertising, you know, all over Google, all like literally retargeting everyone that I'm targeting to. I mean, there's only so many people and it's like all a look-alike, they all look the same, and you want to make sure that a Chinese seller can't go and just rip off your product. Or you want to make sure that it's shark proof, meaning you want to make sure that, look, some big shark is just going to come in and be like, wow, this is you know, small fish playing with like a nice little opportunity gap. I'm going to go ahead and crush him. So the way you differentiate yourself that and kind of build your little moat or your corner is either A, with a celebrity. Now, this is not the route I'm going, but let me explain this. Celebrity is like snow teeth whitening. Think about how they are cornering themselves, even though they have a really easy replicatable product. At least when they started, you know, China, I literally see their product on Alibaba. It is like, I see the light, I see everything that, and you could literally go and sell it. Now they're kind of moving into actually what's called the capital moat, which you're spending more, you're investing more, you're making patents and everything. That's way more advanced. But that is how they're uncommoditizing themselves. First with celebrities, really building a brand value. Now, that's one way. Or the other way is just simply by having a face or a spokesperson. Think about Boom by Cindy Joseph. She is the face of a brand that truthfully, you know, selling creams and lotions and all that is not that expensive. But the brand and the story and just like the likability of her and her relatability makes the brand sell for such a high price. Like the stuff that they sell, like the serums, it's very expensive. It's the highest end, and they are able to have these big margins. At least I think they have big margins, simply because they have a face. Another example is Organifi. Drew Canoli is behind that brand, and they're able to have a moat around their business because they have a face. And he's almost kind of turning into the celebrity for the brand as well with his Fit Life TV and all that. So another example is BlendJet, a face or a celebrity, Jen Settler. So anyway, those are examples. That's how you could really, you either want a face or celebrity influencers. So those are the two things. And another thing is it a fad or is it a market improvement? And so a fad, a perfect example is the fidget spinners. You do not want to go brand and get everything if it is just a fad. And it's very easy to see if it's a fad. Does it improve anyone's life whatsoever? The fidget spinner, maybe a little bit, but could you kind of common sense see like, man, like this, there's no way this is gonna last? Yes, so that's an extreme example. Or is it a market improvement? For example, the portable blender. That's gonna stay. That's a good market improvement. Or even snow teeth whitening, even the fact that they are able to kind of put better serums or a better light or now a light that disinfects, like it's interesting. That is going to stay. You really want to have something that you're going into that is at least going to last for the next 5 to 10 years. So fad or market improvement is super important. Now, the next thing is the risk-averse business model. You want to have options. You do not want to have one star player on your team and hope that he never gets hurt, and then have your other players be absolute shit, and you're literally just relying on one player and you have a one-legged stool. It is very risky. Even though my store was pretty much a one-legged stool, guess what? Even though I had amazing months and amazing profits, it then died down, and it's really frustrating because you put in a lot of effort and a lot of systems in place to build a real brand, and then all of a sudden you kind of miss the boat because you're a complete commodity. And that's exactly what I did. I messed up. I didn't have a face behind it. I didn't have any celebrities. I was literally just doing ads. So that's never gonna happen again. Another thing, so for risk adverse, you want to either have something subscription friendly that is really nice, or you want to be able to have 4 to 5 different products in your product line that you can kind of see and be like, okay, yes, I could add this product, this product, this product. You want to have different options to where if one thing kind of dies, it's not like the market dies. You just need to give someone something else, like, you know, like the pet niche or the dog niche. It will never die. You just need to give them different products so that way you keep your company turning. Now, another thing that I really like is really having funnel options, like what I put right here. If you can have products that fit a free plus shipping model, and then you have a premium funnel model, which free plus shipping is pretty much you're saying, hey, get this product free, just cover, you know, $8.95 shipping, and your product cost is like $1.50. That's amazing. So you really want to have options. That way it's really hard for you to fail and lose because you have a lot of tools in your belt. So the next thing I want to go over is the shipping. Now, when I was using my brand and I was scaling my brand, I was actually still shipping from China. I used a service called DHL ecommerce. Basically, it merges DHL and the fastest version of USPS. The cool thing about that was basically when it shipped over from China, it hit a port out in, I think, California, and it would say it shipped from Chino, California, instead of Hongshuang Port. So it was really good and really helped my branding, and I had a 25% customer return rate, and it was amazing, if not more. However, the biggest problem was when we would get tons of orders, so many orders would be lost. They don't give a shit about anything about your orders being lost or a customer wanting it by this time and date. They don't care. They literally do not care about you at all. And so you want to be in control of your shipping. And it's almost the most important part. That's literally how Amazon is dominating, because they have the fastest shipping and people are getting very impatient. So I want to give you guys 3 options. The first one is stamps. If you type in just stamps.com, this is a good option if you want to just ship from your house or ship from your home and you don't have Shopify. If you do have Shopify, you can actually just use their kind of shipping option, but I do think Stamps is cheaper. They have the cheapest rates, and especially if you have low weight items, it was really inexpensive. And so stamps is a really good option. And with this option, you can actually literally order in products and test them out, just ship them out. And if they sell really well, then you can go to the next thing. And actually the next thing, you wouldn't want to go to dollar fulfillment just yet. That would be a little bit more advanced. You'd probably want to go either to a local fulfillment or ShipBob. First, let me cover dollar fulfillment. If you are getting 30 orders a day of one product, you can go to dollar fulfillment and you can have your shipping super cheap. I'm talking $1 per order plus $2.77 shipping, or maybe even a little bit higher depending on how heavy your item is. But it is super cheap, but you have to have a little bit of volume, about 35 orders a day. Or if you want, you can go to a local fulfillment center or ShipBob. ShipBob is also really inexpensive. They have a very reliable system to literally ship your packages. They pick, they ship, if you send it over to them, they'll sort it and everything. They keep inventory, and they're really, really good. So shipping is actually very easy, and if anything, it's going to make you more money when you would think you'd lose more money. So this will make you more money because so many more people will be coming back to your store, and it is much more reliable. You do not want to put shipping into the hands of China, really. Like, you just don't want to do it. So these are pretty much the 3 pillars that I wanted to cover in this video. However, there's obviously more to branded e-commerce. So I'm wondering, what else do you guys want to know about? There's so much more to branded e-commerce, such as what product should you white label? How do you get suppliers? How do you get samples? What's the process of ordering? How do you get started? What's the cheapest way possible? Now, if you guys want me to make another video on this or go into depth on something, just comment below what you'd like to hear. Anyway, if you guys like this video, go ahead, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna see you guys